Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a chatty get ready with me, and I'm using some new products and some products that you guys have already seen in my channel. So if you guys want to see how I got this look, and if you want to hear my story about why I'm leaving Sephora, let's go. Alright guys, so today we are going to be getting ready. I'm using the Cover FX G50 foundation. I am actually getting ready to go resign at Sephora. I am going to be resigning at Sephora, so you guys won't see too many more hauls from me because I am going to have to wait for sales like everybody else. It's a bittersweet moment because it's really a great company and I don't have any negative experience working for the company. On the contrary, I would say that I've had a really great experience, and all of the ads and all of the commercials and things that you guys see about Sephora carrying, that literally is a company, and that is literally, I don't want to say train us, but that's really how they treat us and how they expect us to treat clients and our customers. A story that just kind of, I'm going to use my Makeup Forever Ultra HD Concealer. A story that really sticks with me and that really just kind of left the impression of what the company was is when I started working at Sephora, I was working for MAC. I had been with them for 6 years. I needed something that would give me more hours, and MAC just couldn't give me more hours. And at the time, I had just started working for CPS, which is a school system in Chicago, the public school system. And, you know, it was the first year that they were not paying us for the summer. So I needed something to just kind of help carry me into the summer and then the fall. And for those of you that work for the public school system and you don't get paid for summer, you know it can be a little tough and tight. So MAC was not able to accommodate my request. And then I knew that it was time to look for an alternative. And I worked at Old Orchard Mall, and I'm going to be using the new Laura Mercier translucent setting powder in the shade Honey. This literally just got delivered. So at the time I was working at a mall, and my husband's cousin had just you know, she'd been asking me about MAC, and you know, she was like, oh, you should consider working for Sephora. And then I said to her, that's funny because I'm actually looking to find a new job because I need more hours. And I had been talking to my managers and my supervisors, and I remember them saying, right, you're not going anywhere, because I loved MAC. I had so much appreciation for them. I had so much respect and love, and it was the only brand that I knew and that I used professionally. So I had, and I still do, I have a lot of love and respect. So I remember talking to them and then them being like, right, you're not gonna leave. Sure. Because they knew like I loved it. Whatever hours I could get, whatever shift I could cover, I would do it and happily do it. So when my husband's cousin told me about Sephora, you know, she's like, it's a great company. She spoke very highly of them. And to be honest with you guys, I didn't know what Sephora was. I really didn't understand, you know, the magnitude of the company. It was simply because I worked for MAC. I knew MAC. It was the only brand for me. And honestly, like, I felt overwhelmed thinking about Sephora. And prior to that, the only experience I had was walking into Sephora to buy a Peter Thomas Roth moisturizer that Jessie, who is my husband's cousin, had given me. And I really liked it, so I wanted to replace it. And I remember walking in, and the person that was helping me was just like really pushy. And that's not what the company is. That's not how they work. I need to do my eyebrows, so I'm gonna finish the story when I come back. All right, we're gonna let those brows set before doing anything else. So I picked up another Gucci bronzer, and this is in the shade 04. And I want to see what this guy looks like. Oh, it's good. It's a nice shade. So I'm going to go ahead and use a brush. This is more red and definitely more pigmented than number 3, which is a medium. I'm going to tell you guys right now, my favorite shade is medium for my skin tone. This one, again, does show up. The other one you do have to build up. And I think this would be a beautiful shade for me when I'm tan, because I do tan more on the red side than I do like golden. So it's a good shade, but my favorite is still 3. All right, so going back to my story, this is a story time. I'm going to use my Sephora Collection Lash Primer. I interviewed at Sephora, not really knowing much about the company or, you know, the store or what they really sold, because again, my experience had been overwhelming and I really didn't want to go into the store. And when you love a brand as much as I loved MAC, and again, I don't have any hard feelings towards MAC, you know, I respect them. I think they do a lot of great work, but after, you know, loving a company as much as I did and a brand as much as I did and really believing in their products as much as I did, it was really difficult to come back into a store and not know anything about the brands. And I really didn't know anything about the brands. I didn't know anything about Sephora. I just knew that it was a store that sold skincare, fragrance, makeup. I didn't even know that they sold hair care and hair products. So I went in there and I interviewed, and I loved the manager at the time. I love the one that I have now too. I don't have any issues there, but you know, she was energetic, passionate, happy, strong. I'm really drawn to like very strong women, like those women that you're kind of put off by, intimidated by. Those are the women that I'm drawn to, and that's what she was. So she hired me, and I honestly didn't think I was going to make it, because for the interview portion, I had to do makeup on someone, and I was asked to do makeup using their products. Well, I didn't know anything about the products there. I didn't know anything about the brands there. I was winging it. So it was a learning experience for me. I really learned a lot working at Sephora, and the moment that just kind of solidified me working there, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, working there was like, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I was just so intimidated by all of the brands and not knowing anything. And I worked really hard at like trying to learn about them. I would still go into the store wearing MAC makeup and having to figure out, you know, what to tell people when I had on a full face of MAC and they were asking me what I was wearing. So I learned how to improvise and how to figure out, you know, the closest things. And then eventually I started to venture off and buy products sold at the store, because I needed to know, you know, what to recommend, and I needed to have information on, you know, the products and what I was selling. So I remember working, it was, I think it was like a Wednesday, and this lady came in. It was an early shift. I started at 8, and I was putting stuff out, and I remember this lady approaching me. She was really overwhelmed. I'm taking Lay and Low Paint Pot by MAC, and she was just like flustered, and she was like, can you just help me? Can you help me? And I'm like, sure, right? And so I said, how can I help you? And then she's like, you know, I have cancer, and I've had chemo, and I am not myself. And as soon as she said that, I just remember like my heart just dropped, because I couldn't understand what that felt like. And you know, she's like, I'm ugly, I'm not myself. And she wasn't ugly, you know. And I said to her, you're not ugly. And she's like, thanks, honey, I know you're just saying that to be nice. And I said, no, I'm not. I said, you have great features. And so then I started to point them out, and it was just conversation. I just remember like telling her, like, you have beautiful green eyes. If we, you know, use eyeshadows in this family, your eyes will pop, you know. And then from there, she just kind of like, I guess she trusted my opinion and what I was saying. And then she said, I need something that will give me lashes, but I don't want lashes. Her lashes had fallen out. Remember, she had told me that she had just lost all of her eyebrows, her lashes, and, you know, her hair. And so she's like, you know, I don't know. I don't want to have to put on lashes every day. You know, I mentioned to her the possibility of doing lash extensions, and she was like, I just want to look normal. And so I said, okay. So I grabbed a liner, I smoked it out, so it gave her the effect of having feathery lashes when she didn't have any. And then, you know, same thing, using a liner on the lower lash line to add definition to her eyes. And I picked something that would complement them and make them pop. And then from there, it was like she had no eyebrows. I can relate to that. And I told her, I said, you know, I actually don't really have eyebrows. She's like, yes, you do. I'm looking at them. I was like, oh no, those are drawn in. And so she said, I need you to help me. So I did. And I remember I spent almost 3 hours with her, and she bought everything that I suggested. And you know, the nice thing about Sephora is when people suggest something to you, they are genuinely suggesting it because it is a great recommendation because of what you've disclosed, or because it's something that they love and that they know you're going to love. We don't have, you know, we don't have goals to meet, like individual goals, whereas at MAC we did have individual goals that we needed to meet. And you needed to sell a certain amount of items. Sephora is not that. So when somebody's giving you a suggestion at Sephora, it's because it is going to fit what you're asking for, because it's something that's so life-changing and amazing that this person wants you to try it. I'm going to take my Pat McGrath Dark Star mascara. So she ended up buying everything, and then she said to me, oh, you're going to make a lot of commission. I told her, I said, I don't make commission. And she's like, you don't? And I said, no. And I said, and if you decided right now that you wanted to leave everything, that's okay. And if there's something that you're not sure about and you want to leave it, that's okay. And then she said, oh no. You know, she's like, I trust you. So after working with her for almost 3 hours, or maybe even 3 hours, she left, and my boss approached me. She was on the floor, and I guess she had been like listening. And then she's like, what happened there? And I said, she has cancer. You know, she's lost her eyebrows, her lashes, she's lost everything. And she wanted me to teach her how to fake it until she makes it. And then she's like, okay. And I said, is that okay? And then she goes, that's more than okay. That's what we stand for. And she's like, you know, Gabby, if you ever have a client like that who needs your time, that's okay. She's like, what I don't want to see is, you know, clients not being helped or treated with the same respect. So that same respect that you gave that client, that should be consistent across the board. And she's right. I think anywhere that should be the expectation. So I definitely took that into consideration. I met with the client, you know, I helped her. I felt really great. And that day I remember just feeling different, feeling like this is what it should be like, right? Because at MAC, if somebody made an appointment with you, you had 30 minutes, but that didn't mean that that person got your full attention. You still had to help the client that was looking for lipstick, or help the client who needed a foundation. Like, you were expected to multitask, which is something that I am also grateful for, because Well, some of the people that I've worked with at Sephora, you know, maybe they took an hour to an hour and a half to do makeup on somebody. It took me 30 minutes, 45 minutes tops. And, you know, the more familiar I became with the brands and the more years I spent at Sephora and the more I knew about things, the more confident I was in selecting products for clients and doing whatever look it was that they were in for. So that was my first memory at Sephora, and that was the first like real moment where I knew that that's where I needed to be, and I knew that whatever happened there was going to be impactful, and it has been. I've had other clients who've had traumas. You know, I guess the best way I can put it is God puts you where you need to be, right? So I've come across people who've gone through some really intense traumatic experiences. I get paired with them, we end up talking, we end up, you know, really like providing more than just a makeup service. Like I'm beyond grateful to have worked at Sephora and to have had the support that I had while I was working there. So I have just really fond memories. The team is very supportive. You know, my bosses are great people, supportive people. They, you know, my job there has spilled into my full-time job where they've helped, you know, with passion projects and other things. So I'm not leaving there with a negative feeling. I'm not leaving there hating anybody. I'm not leaving there angry. You know, like I'm closing a chapter that I've outgrown, and I'm moving on, which is what you're supposed to do, right? So I will forever remember the company, and I will forever hold them in high regard, and, you know, refer to Sephora and the staff with respect, because that's what I've gotten as an employee. And you know, it's just time. So, and then of course with everything that's happening with COVID, this is a chatty video. Everything that's happening and not having, you know, a treatment, and you know, not really sure of what's happening there, and just seeing like the increasing numbers. Like I am not in a position where I need to work right now. I'm, you know, in a really good position. Thank God, you know, my husband has been able to work from home. We're okay, we're doing good. And, you know, if his company has said they're not working, you know, they're not going back to their office this year, then I can't imagine willingly going into a space that puts me and my family at risk. You know, like I have to think about that. And I know that there's people that have to go to work and don't have the luxury of being able to stay at home. And, you know, I understand the difference, and by no means am I saying that I'm better than anybody because I get to stay home. That's not at all what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that if I'm in a position to say I am okay not working, then I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do that, you know, to ensure the safety of my family, of my parents who are high risk. I've taken a lot of time to think about it, and I was very much resistant at first. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Desert Haze palette. I'm going to take the lightest shade and dust that all over my lids. So I was very much resistant to leaving, and it was really because I wasn't ready to leave, and I wasn't. When you love something as much as I love Sephora, because I love Sephora, and again, you guys can hear in my story that I love Sephora and that it has a very special place in my heart. You know, I wanted to make sure that I took everything into account and that I was really secure in my decision. And to be honest with you guys, even now I'm like, really? But what I've come to realize is the impact that I've made in people, the impact that I feel people have made on me, I can continue in my line of work. Like, I went to school for social work, and that's my background, and I know, and I've known in my heart that that's something that I've always loved. and that helping people was always important to me. I'm gonna take this medium shade here, and I can continue that work. I don't need to be at Sephora for that. What I got from Sephora was the pleasure of helping people and doing what I love, the other thing I love, which is makeup. But I have been fortunate to have clients that I've done makeup for that, you know, I have the same connection with. So I don't need to be at Sephora. I'm kind of trying to convince myself that this is what, you know, I need to do. But it's a hard decision, and it's one that I'm ready to make. But like any other, you know, change, you just kind of have to roll with it, and I'm rolling. It's been a great journey for me. It has been really fulfilling to be at a company like Sephora. And so if you are somebody that maybe is looking to get a job in the beauty industry and you don't know where to start, Sephora is a great start, and it's a great company. So with that being said, obviously I won't have a discount anymore. Obviously I won't be able to really haul the way I did. And I do, just so you guys know, I do get discounts in a lot of makeup brands, especially makeup brands that are sold at Sephora, because I am a freelance artist. I do have like a actual business, and so I get the pro discount. And it, more often than not, I was buying makeup from the direct website versus Sephora because the discount was larger. But you know, there's things like skincare, and obviously like more trendy things like Pat McGrath and Natasha Denona, those brands I'm gonna miss. It's not just that. It's a lot of things. It's bittersweet for me, to be honest with you guys. I'm gonna take this shade here. I think this is a good moment to just kind of put my spending at a pause, go through what I have and experience, you know, my items like they're new, because you guys know in this community, you know, there's constant product being put out, and there's this like insane desire to get everything that is out, and I'm part of that. I am, you know, somebody that is in that. But I think, again, just this whole process and preparation to exit Sephora has put things into perspective and has really made me realize that I have more than enough. And, you know, I've had to clean out my stuff and go through my kit and go through my personal stash. And, you know, I have a lot of things. I'm being wasteful. So I will be using my stuff. I will probably be doing a lot more tutorials than hauls and reviews. And that's not the thing right now with YouTube. That's not like the popular thing. But I'm hoping that we go back to it because it's fun. But if there is something that you guys are really like itching for me to try or see, I am going to still purchase things. I just won't be purchasing them in the same manner that I was. You know, these, this is the first eyeshadow palette that I own by Charlotte Tilbury. And to be honest with you guys, it's good, but I'm not wowed. Like, it's not making me want to go buy more, which is good, right? But it's just okay, I guess. By the time you guys see this video, I will have already been resigned. I don't know when I'm putting this one up. I do that. Again, it's bittersweet. I'm going to take the first brush that I use with this mid-tone shade and just use this to blend out my crease, and then also blend this out in the center a little bit just so that it's not patchy. And I'm gonna take the darkest shade in the palette just for the hell of it with this fluffy brush, and I'm going to just kind of deepen. I don't know why I'm just not really digging this palette. Like, I feel like it looks patchy. I'm just gonna go back in with this brush and just blend or pat this shadow down because it is looking rough. It doesn't look up close, it looks a little rough. Like, look, it just looks really patchy here. I'm gonna try blending this out. It looks really patchy there in the outer corner there. I'm gonna have to try this palette out again. Right now I have to say, like, I'm not really impressed by this. And I know people love her palettes. All right, así se queda. I'm just gonna take a little bit more mascara and do my tips because I can still see some of that primer. For my blush, I'm gonna be using Mel Cosmetics Honey Thief. All right, guys, for my lips, I use Nude Sticks in, what is this? Mystic. This is a lip and cheek pencil. Such a beautiful nude, and being that I feel just really bronzy and smoky and brown, I thought it was perfect. I am gonna go ahead and do a liner, and then we'll come back and finish this look. All right, guys, so here is the final look. I ended up taking Burnish Gel Liner by Mel Cosmetics and used that to create a wing. I wanted something that was going to blend with the look, but still add a little bit of a pop of color. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you guys so much for hearing me out today. I hope that you guys enjoyed my experience as a Sephora employee. I'm kidding. I told you guys it's bittersweet. I'm very grateful for the Old Orchard Sephora team, and I'm going to miss them dearly. If you live in Chicago and you can stop by the Old Orchard store, you definitely should. It's a beautiful store with really kind and warm people. Thank you guys so much for your love and support as always. Please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because I do upload 3 videos a week and I don't want you to miss any. Also, be sure to like this video because it does help support my channel, and leave a comment down below letting me know what your thoughts were about this makeup, about the products. If you guys have any questions, leave it down below. I love talking to you guys and I always appreciate you leaving comments. Have a good day. Bye.